Welcome back with me here in Costa Rica at the Botanic Garden at CATIE. C-A-T-I-E, CATIE, or CATIE is how they say it here, but we have some exciting plants to see right now. So the first one is this climbing Ylang-Ylang. I had to look up the leaves because I have never seen that before. Now that I looked up the leaves, I can see it's growing everywhere in here. These are the leaves. It has some sort of like lantern-shaped flowers that here we are at the last day of January 2022, and I don't see any flowers in here of that to show you, unfortunately, because I would love to smell that climbing ylang-ylang flower, but it's pretty incredible. But those are the leaves. It's growing all over in here, all clambering around all up inside the tree there. There's that miracle fruit tree we saw in the last video. Scoot along here because there's a couple of just awesome things. First of all, the vanilla vine, Vanilla planifolia. Have you ever seen vanilla growing in the wild or in a botanic garden or anywhere at all? It's a vine. It's an orchid, actually. It's in the Orchidaceae family. And so it just clambers up like a vine, like an orchid vine. A lot of orchids sort of do a viney thing, but there it is, and it's growing up here, and it goes way up there. And it flowers and then has the pods, which again it's I think we're in the mid-season here, but you can see it goes way up there. It'll just keep growing. So I was on the Caribbean coast at a permaculture farm, and he had all kinds of amazing stuff. One of them was vanilla vines that he would grow on sort of I forget the plant that he had, but he'd grow it about this high and then lop it off, and then it would have other branches, but the vanilla vines would climb up on that, so it would have a live thing to grow on, and it'd be easier to harvest. Very smart. Here's Moraceae, another Artocarpus. This is the breadfruit, fruta de pan. The breadfruit. It has big leaves, obviously a fallen leaf, but very large leaves. And you can see above me the giant leaves. There was a disgusting fruit that had hit the ground over here because they're large. Jackfruit are the largest in that way, but here it is. I think these are seeds from previous fruit, and here's a fruit that's just sort of, I don't know, being gross with bugs on it and stuff. Compost being gross. I actually love compost, but it's a little bit smelly around here. There's lots of fruit that's just been left out for a long time. This whole pathway is covered in breadfruit seed pods that have sort of exploded and rotted, and then the seeds are still there. Let's see, a couple of things. If you saw the video with me in the Botanic Garden and Zoology Garden of San Jose, Costa Rica, there was the Guanacaste tree, the national tree of Costa Rica, and here it is. It's got a huge canopy. That giant tree in the middle there, and this sign actually has some interesting information, more than the National Botanic Garden did, because it says that that it's also called the ear pod tree, that the pods are ear shaped, and Guanacaste comes from the Guanacastan people, and this tree was dedicated as a national tree in 1959 as an homage to the Guanacastan people for their annexation to the country in 1824. The shade of the tree resembles the protection of the state has offered all the citizens of the country. So these politicians can always twist stuff into their own version of some sense of reality. They make everybody else's. This bridge is kind of cool. maybe it's a wet area or a root or something. I'm not sure what it goes over. Here's some Mondo grass, Ophiopogon. That pretty much grows anywhere in the world. A nice sort of floppy grass that it can take a little bit of traffic, but it's a nice just sort of thing to have around. There, it comes in various colors, like a blacker one and that green one, and I think a variegated one too. Here's one of the nicest stands of timber bamboo. We'll go up closer. It's a good screen. The shade is incredible. You can see how far it like bends over. This is the main area, and then it really leans outward. And I don't know if they've tried to keep it from spreading, but it's very clumping. Like it hasn't tried to run out and take over the whole area, which is odd. Usually bamboo is like goes crazy when it, and especially in a rainy area like Costa Rica. Bambusa tuldoides. Bamboo. They sort of cobweb breezed over the bromeliad garden back there. They're cool. Bromeliads, the water goes in the center part, and they use that to grow from and collect nutrients and dead bugs and stuff to feed themselves with. Pretty wild type of plant, but I wanted to go to the edible stuff. Over here is it's getting pretty smelly. This table's kind of funny. It's very crotchy. It's smelly because this is an orchard of mixed fruits, and the first one that we'll see that we saw on the table in the first video of the CATIE is the Black Sapote. So here's the tree of the Black Sapote. They're actually quite large, and there are several of them here. And I don't know how they're managing this ground, but could use a lot more mulch. I don't know if they're like taking the leaves away or they blow away or something, but it needs more carbon to soak up when the fruit falls. It'll have something to absorb itself with. Voila! I opened up one earlier that was quite brown and disgusting, and it's hard to do this with one hand. And I didn't pre-plan this, so this is live, not staged. And there's just like piles of ooey goo. Looks like stuff I don't want to mention on camera. And I'm trying to open it with one hand and dropping it. And I wanted to show you other trees in this area. Let's see. I think it's mostly rotted. Wow, that's a wild looking thing there. What is that? It's just hanging out. Oh, it's like carbony, like it was a nest or something. Insects put it in there, or it was like rotted material. Let's see if I can put you here for a second. Nope, that's not going to work. And the ground's all covered in nice goo. It really could use some leaves and carbonaceous detritus to alright, so part of it's white, and I don't know if that's actually edible. Black Sapote. It's like yeah, it's like not ew. It's like not ripe and rotting. And I got the not ripe part. Ooh, very bitter. So we can balance that over here. I gotta watch where I'm stepping too. It's just giant sapote turds everywhere. Okay, here's another guess for you to put in the comments. So what is it called when trees specifically grow flowers? These are inflorescence, and they don't smell. From the trunk, what is it called? Put that in the chat. What's it called because usually flowers are grown from, like, the tips of branches. There are so many bugs here. But when they're grown on the trunk of a tree, it's called, put it in the comments what you think it is. You probably Googled it already. It's called cauliflower. No, it sounds like cauliflower though. Cauliflory. It's hard to pronounce too. And so look at these ants. Can you see the ants on there? They're playing around. They're trying to get it open, but there's probably some secretions on there they want to get. So guess what sort of cauliflory this is? What tree puts it out on the there? And you'll find jaboticaba is the kind of main one, that because they just grow these like weird cherries all along the trunk, but this is not jaboticaba. This is durian. Yes, durian. This is a durian tree. And I wonder if you guessed that in the comments yet. You don't come across these often. I don't anyway, not often enough. And but here it is. And this one is and that finca on the other side of the Caribbean coast, if you make it over there, La Isla Permaculture he's growing a bunch of different varieties of durian. But this one, you can see how loaded it is with flowers. Cauliflory. I can't even say it in my native tongue, let alone in Latin. But here's, like, pollinators are hanging out. I don't know if you can see that. They're ready too. And he said it's hard to grow, that they could produce twice a year because at least on that coast, because I'm in the mountains now, heading over to the west coast, the Pacific side, that there's 2 dry seasons and 2 wet seasons, so that they have a chance to pollinate twice and to produce twice a year. And it doesn't always happen because there's always some storm or some weird thing. But yay durian. He had some fruits on his over there. There's that one, and then there's the second one over here. That one had a double trunk, and this one has a single trunk. And look at all these flowers. You definitely want to come visit this place. If it had durian, it'd be worth $9. It's like $9 a pound or something. It's a very high value fruit, a very delicious, and I believe nutritious fruit. I don't know, it's so delicious, I don't care how nutritious it is. But I didn't expect them to have the straight trunks. Oh look, there's epiphytes up there too. That's better than Spanish moss. I didn't expect the trunks to be so straight and upright on durian. And there's various durian orchard in Malaysia is where this is from. That area, Malaysia, Brunei, has a lot of different varieties, and you can invest in durian orchards in that area. You put in many thousands of US dollars, and it takes, I forget, 7 to 10 years to get any kind of yields, but then you get some of the dividends for the next few years. So that's a pretty cool way to be invested in plants and like sequestering carbon, and you probably don't actually get anything delicious out of it other than the revenue and the knowing that you're, I don't know, helping people to get their operation up and growing. So that's pretty fun. All right, so we did the climbing Ylang-Ylang, we did the climbing vanilla, we did the Black Sapote, we did the national tree of the Guanacaste, national tree of Costa Rica, we did the giant timber bamboo. There was like multiple patches of that too. We did let's see, Black Sapote and the durian. So that was a fun run in this video of this lengthy series of this botanic garden at CATIE. See, they're big clumps I'm showing you there, clumpity clump, and they're not running too far. So I'm going to swing from this vine right here and swing right into the next video with you. See you there.